Assalamu alaikum. I hope you are doing well. This lecture is about the definition of tragedy as it was given by Aristotle for any literary work to be classified as tragedy, and he presented this definition in his most important work titled as Poetics. So the thing is that majority of the students of literature tends to memorize this definition without understanding the meaning of it. So I hope after listening to this lecture, you will have a clear understanding of what this definition of tragedy actually means. So according to Aristotle, a tragedy is the imitation of an action that is serious and also as having magnitude, complete in itself, in appropriate and pleasurable language, in dramatic rather than the narrative form, with incidents arousing pity and fear, wherewith to accomplish a catharsis of these emotions. So, this was the definition given by Aristotle. Now, let's understand what he actually meant by each of the word mentioned in this definition. Now, let's first discuss the imitation of an action. So, by the imitation of an action, he means that tragedy should not be a direct reproduction of the reality. Instead, it should be a representation or portrayal of a series of events from the reality. So, imitation does not mean mere copy. Instead, means the artistic recreation of human actions and experiences. Now, that serious means that a good tragedy should deal with a very serious issue because we can't have a great tragedy about something very trivial, like, for instance, breaking a fingernail. That is why a tragedy should have an issue of grave concern. So, it must deal with extreme sorrow or at least with someone's death, and that is why probably almost all of Shakespeare's greatest tragedies end with the death of the hero, and also as having magnitude. So magnitude refers to the scale or size of the events within a tragedy. Now, complete in itself means that a tragedy should have a clear beginning, middle, and end to form a unified whole and to create coherence in it so that audience can have a full impact of the play. Inappropriate and pleasurable language means that the words and expressions used in the play should be suitable for the characters as well as for the situation. In other words, the language should be well crafted so that it could evoke emotions and also enhance the overall aesthetic experience for the audience. So, in simple words, it means that the use of language in tragedy should be both fitting to the context and also enjoyable for the viewers. In dramatic rather than narrative form means that the story of the tragedy should unfold through actions and dialogues on the stage rather than relying extensively on the narration or description. Because in Aristotle's view, it is the dramatic form that enhances the engagement of the audience and also the overall impact of the play. With incidents arousing pity and fear, it means that the events portrayed in the play should evoke strong emotions, specifically of pity and fear in the audience. Now, in other words, it means that the plot of the tragedy should involve such circumstances that lead the audience to a sense of empathy for the characters and also a feeling of apprehension about their outcomes, wherewith to accomplish a catharsis of these emotions. Now, this is very important because catharsis has been defined differently by different critics. Generally, it means the purification of the emotions of pity and fear. In other words, it means that the purpose of tragedy is to provide a release or purification of those emotions of pity and fear that the audience experienced during the play. So, in simple words, it means the emotional intensity that was built throughout the tragic events happening is meant to find a resolution in its final stage so that it could provide a sense of emotional relief to the audience. Now you can read the full definition again and see how it is going to stay in your long term memory. So that's it about the definition of tragedy. Thank you.